Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Chats, where we're going to take a behind-the-scenes look and get to know the Hurrdat Sports team a little bit better. We've done this via staff profiles and things like that, but I wanted to focus more on the creative process and who everybody is as a person. If this looks up to you, it's intentional because we want you to see what a setup looks like for something like this. So my first person that I'll be talking to today is actually somebody who is moving on from our team, and I wanted to take the opportunity to sit down with her because she has an amazing story to tell and is one of our most creative people on the team. And I'll probably say that about every single person because we are. This is Anna Ambrose. She's a social media strategist for us at Hurrdat Sports and mainly focuses on nebpreps, but helps out a little bit with everything. So my first question for you will be, who is Anna Ambrose? How did you start with Hurrdat Sports and what does that look like now at the end?
Yeah, so I started with Hurrdat Sports because I graduated college and I got a different job and that didn't work out, and Anna Bellinghausen and I went to high school together. She's a few years older than me, and I asked her if I could literally be her personal assistant. I just needed a job, and so she brought me on. I started as an intern in October of 2023, and then I moved full-time, and I've done a little bit of everything. Yeah, reporting and social media and everything, but that's, you know, who I am and what I do, but I truly care about people, who they are off the field, who they are, you know, as people and a person themselves. So, you know, that's a big piece of my storytelling, and where that comes from is what you see off the field and things you don't get to see, you know, a part of their stats and stuff like that. And that's what makes us so good and work together, and that's been a part of who I am is, you know, us caring intentionally about being so deep with everyone, I feel like.
Yeah, what does that relationship look like? I think that it's evolved, obviously, over specifically the last couple of years, but what does that look like when you're looking for a storyline or how to tell the story a little bit differently and really focus on who the athlete is as a person off the field?
Yeah, well, I think we have a lot of connections that help us understand the community and the stories better. That helps a lot when you can get more insight. And yeah, I would say, you know, talking to the actual people too, and through doing interviews and finding things that aren't always on about the field or, you know, on the field or whatever it is, you know, finding something about their past or their family life or stuff like that. Just asking questions and staying curious is what has helped me. And you don't always have to talk about things that you know about, but maybe ask about things that you don't know about. And so I feel like that's what helps. And when you have Jacob and Mike and Austin and Anna and Avery and David and so many people that have information and resources that like you don't always know about, we all bring different pieces of information together to, you know, find different stories and, hey, I know this about this person and whatever. So it helps because that's how we can truly max our opportunities here, I feel like, at Hurrdat Sports. And telling stories in the state of Nebraska is when you bring it all together, I feel like. So
yeah, I was recently in a meeting and somebody asked if we, you know, what do you reach? Like, what is the goal? Is it just Omaha? Is it Lincoln? It's like, no, the whole state. The whole entire state matters, and all of the athletes at any level in the state matter. And that's been very evident with just honestly, the growth that you've accomplished for the pillar for nebpreps, and having somebody who's special and like truly care, a team of people, obviously, but I think having a person like you dedicated to that is what helped with all of the growth, because everybody kind of, when they pay attention to sports, sees things a little bit differently or watches them differently. And having, you know, you and the different angle that you've taken has been really, truly incredible. Like I have been doing this a really long time and I haven't seen anything quite like it, truthfully,
really?
Like honestly.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Looking back at your time at Hurrdat Sports, what moments or projects stand out the most to you? The ones that really shaped your experience here?
You know, like when you ask that question, I don't think I necessarily think of like a game or event right away. I mean, obviously there are ones that stick out to me, like the College World Series or working March Madness. That was really fun when they were in Omaha and things like that. But I think about the conversations and the laughs that we share in the office. And I think that's different than any other game you work. And I guess like state events are really fun with all the contractors because I don't want to say we mess around the whole time because we're very worried about our work and we want to do it right and we want to do it quick and fast and everything. But I just think truly being with the people and being able to laugh and share funny stories is what makes it, what it is. And there's just so many stories of messing around in the office or at games. And that's what sticks out to me the most. But obviously, there are some fun games and events that we've worked, but it's just truly the people inside of this office.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that something that is very unique about this team of people is how close we are. It's not it's not just limited to the office. Like we try to go out and do things together.
Yeah.
Movies, it's like actual friendship, which you don't find a lot of places. And like maybe that sounds tooting my own hornish, but I think that that's why it works, is because of the bond that we all have.
Yes.
Speaking of that, the Hurrdat crew is a tight-knit bunch. So what will you miss most about the day-to-day, the people, the energy, or maybe even the controlled chaos?
There's so much I'm gonna miss about this place. I'll try not to cry too, but I think I love everyone so much inside of this office, and I think it's because the impact that they've had on my life. And it's not because what I've gained out of it, but it's because of who I was able to become inside of this place and working here. I came here and I just was a totally different person. I look back at pictures and different thoughts that I had back then, and like I don't even recognize that person at all, honestly. And it's just so crazy to think about like how everyone has like single-handedly impacted my life. And at the end of the day, like it is just work, and there are so many bigger and better things like outside of this office, but it's become such a special place that it is much more. And it's not just work and my job, it's like relationships and friendships and different things that I've gained from this. And that is what I'm going to miss the most. And people making fun of me and gaslighting me and having fun. Like I don't know. I'm sure people will, take advantage of my gullibleness, I guess, and use that to their advantage in the future, maybe somewhere else. But, I open myself up here, and when you become vulnerable like that, like you allow other people to become vulnerable too. And I feel like that is what I'll miss about this place the most, is just, everyone.
Who has gaslit you the most, would you say?
For sure, Austin or David. Yeah.
I think they're tied.
They definitely are tied. It's like any conversation I have, it's like, they're like, oh, no, Anna, no. Or they're like, I can't even like think, like the way they do it is like so believable, or like they'll say something and then I'll like agree with them and then they'll convince me that I was wrong about what I said. I'm like, you just said the same thing and you're telling me we're agreeing about the same thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
We definitely can never release our full group chat because I don't think people would understand the amount of sarcasm that happens there. Jacob will occasionally like clip things, be like, no context from the group today, and our food fights. Like not physical food fights, but arguing constantly about food.
And different food takes,
Yes. One of the things that I sent Kyle for our year in review was like, is a breakfast taco. What the hell was it? It was the banana in a hot dog.
Yes, yeah.
And Austin was vehemently trying to convince everybody that it was a breakfast taco.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, knock it up.
The question in the office today, actually on the whiteboard, is rank the top 5 Christmas foods. Sides.
Foods?
Yeah. So like, what are you eating on Christmas that is, I know, I already did mine. They let me pick the question for my last day, so I was really excited to do that. Well, it turns out, I said, can we do Thanksgiving foods? And they're like, we already did that. I said, when and why did you do that without me? Because that is not fair. So apparently you guys did that last week, I don't know, but.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Kyle's shaking his head.
See?
Okay.
I guess they did it last
We're
week.
really inclusive here, unless it comes to food takes, apparently, on the whiteboard.
Yeah,
okay,
so I was
Kyle.
sad I was sad I couldn't be a part of that. So that's why I was like, okay, we'll do Christmas food or whatever. So I feel like people like different things for Christmas.
And everybody has like different things that they do as like a family,
Yeah,
like traditions.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm really interested to go down there and
Yeah.
see that. We have to do that like once a day, I think. You've worn a lot of hats for our team, obviously. And I think one thing that we try to do here is, everybody try out a little bit of everything. Figure out what you actually really like, because a lot of our team is young, but those opportunities, in my opinion, are super important. So when you go on to your next stage, which we will talk about in a moment, then you have that experience and you can put that on your resume as a thing that you had your hands on. What would you say, though, from the creative process and working with such creative people in a fast-paced environment, like how did that help you for the next step?
Yeah, because like you mentioned, I came here and I started as like a reporter, and I really thought I wanted to be on camera, and I just didn't really like it, and I thought I was gonna do that forever, which is great because I was able to find how much I love social media and what I'm able to do there, and I don't know, working hard every day, and when you actually truly care about it, that's when you're able to thrive in those environments, because there are people, frankly, who like can't do that, and that's okay. But everyone kind of finds their thing for them, and that's what you're able to do here at Hurrdat Sports. I feel like is, I was able to try reporting, and I thought I was going to do that, and I didn't really like that, so I transitioned to social media, and I was able to find out that even though it's stressful and it's a lot of the times, like I still am succeeding, and I'm seeing succession out of all of this, and so that is, kind of how I guess I found my success in that, and how I'm able to thrive is when you actually truly care about it at the end of the day, and when you can put in the effort 110%. And there are days where like I can give 90% and I'm just like don't have it in me, but when you find something that you're able to give like more than 80% to every day, or even like 100%, like that's probably how you're gonna succeed and can survive in like those fast-paced creative mindsets that we're always in here. So
yeah, I'd agree with that. Your next stop is with NBC Sports. Every time someone leaves, it's always sad, but truthfully, watching you become Anna like has been one of the things that I think in my professional career I might be like most proud of, to even be a part of that. I'm getting emotional now because it is sad, because it's like somebody's so cared about in such a, like, you're a very big part of everything that we do. But your experience here and the growth that you've had, and growing a brand like that, how did that help you for like when you were applying for that and talking about all of your wins? How did that help you for NBC Sports?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy during the interview process, because when you talk about things that you've done and you've accomplished, like you really do look back on the times and the things that we've done. It's like, oh yeah, I was able to do this and that. And like when you're in the moment and we just keep going, and when we're moving forward constantly, you don't have time to really look back and I guess sulk in like what has actually truly happened. And so yeah, that was kind of crazy during all of that I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, we actually have made an impact here, and I've been able to do this, and I've been able to be a part of that. And it was just, yeah, it's really special, and thankfully, like, this has been like the one yes that I've, been looking for since I graduated college, and you guys were the first yes of like, okay, someone's actually taking a chance on me here, which is great. But yeah, this is like a bigger, and it's gonna be great. But yeah, in terms of like how that's helped me, it's really just, everything I've done and putting it all together, and just continuing to work and not take no as an answer.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be a lot of them, and there has been a lot of them. But just continuing to do what you're doing, and yeah, it will always work out. And that got so redundant for me too, is like hearing that from people and in different situations, and because I was happy where I was at, and I am happy where I'm at, with Hurrdat Sports, but like knowing that deep down, and like when I was younger, I just have always felt like I'm destined for something like, bigger and at like a higher scale, and that is truly like what I was able to find in this. And so like you'll know, and you'll find it too, especially if you're tired of hearing no's. Like you don't want to give up. So yeah.
I think that the no's along the way actually fortify and make us better. I think that you try a little harder and you keep pushing yourself a little further because you know that, like, yes, this was my starting point, but my stopping point is not that. And you feel that inherently as a person, I think.
Yep.
So when the right thing came along, like, you knew immediately.
Yeah.
And that phone call, I was sitting with my husband and I'm like, I have a feeling that this phone call is going to be about another job. And I got off the phone and I was like, dang it, I was right. But I was so happy for you because I knew that going into this, like, BTS. We talked for legit almost 2 hours on the phone one night before Anna made the decision to take a chance with Hurrdat Sports. I was like, hey, learn every single thing that you possibly can here so that your resume, they cannot say no to. And I'm so glad and thankful that you did, because getting to know you, I mean, you're not dying. You're just moving on.
I've had to say that after every thought this week. I'm like, okay, wait, I'm not dying.
But getting to know you and, like, who you are and how much you care, and then seeing your growth, like, seriously, I'm so proud and happy for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you could give one piece of advice to even yourself right away post-graduation, like, what would you say to that version of Anna?
I think I would say don't get offended. You know, I feel like I would take things personally back then, and, you know, that's when I wasn't really confident in myself yet. And so I would always think that someone is saying something about me or someone's targeting me about something, and, like, it's not about me. It's not always about you. And so I had to tell myself that, like, you know, I'm not actually being picked at, you know, just, like, keep doing what you're doing and don't take anything to heart, and, you know, don't get offended by things because people are going to want to help you and guide you, and it might be not in the nicest way all the time, and you need that type of criticism in order to succeed. I've always believed. So thankfully I've had that here, like a healthy, you know, criticism relationship, I feel like, and that's helped because I've been able to succeed from that. But yeah, don't get offended because definitely got offended.
Yeah, it's always constructive feedback. It's never like, it's always to help, and it's coming from a place of care. And I think that, I mean, just in general, to anybody watching this, just, like, apply that to life because that is a very, very wise thing that Anna just imparted upon you. Let's get a little personal here. Okay. What's the funniest or most chaotic behind the scenes memory?
Where do I even start? Oh my gosh. I literally have so many funny moments that have happened here. I could even start with this week probably. Okay. Actually, I could start with yesterday because I talked about this with my family too, and I've never seen my parents laugh at something like this before, but I told them the story about Colin R. giving me a Christmas ornament that happened to be from his ex-girlfriend, but he had been putting it up on his Christmas tree at home this whole time. And his wife was like, okay, we should probably, like, take that down and get rid of that. Well, I'm moving to, like, Connecticut, New York area, and so I think that's where he found, like, you know, a little in to give me that, like, you know, a little good handoff. So that is probably, like, the funniest story moment most recently that I've been a part of. Like, I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, this can't even be real. This is like, I can't even I can't process it or understand it. But I think that's CR too. Like, you just, a lot of that. So
what makes this even funnier to me, honestly, so we started a group chat that discluded you because we wanted it to be a surprise yesterday.
I heard about that. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, here's what I got for the basket. And Colin doesn't explain the story, just says, I have a New York ornament that I wouldn't miss. So to hear that that's the backstory is very, very funny.
What's even funnier is last week when he was like, oh my gosh, you know, I love New York. Like, I used to have an ex-girlfriend that lived there. He told me that when I told him I was moving to New York. And I'm like, oh, okay, nice, whatever. And then it gets brought up again with this ornament. I'm like, you know, maybe we should do some research into this ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, what's going on here, dude? That's really funny. Bonus points if you have a David, Austin, Robbie, or Sauter story, or Kyle Byers, who's behind the camera right now.
Gosh, I have a ton. Okay, I'll probably go with Austin. I'm trying to think because literally everything. Okay, it's hard for me to pick funny stories because I laugh at everything.
Yes.
And so like even yesterday, David was telling a story and he was like, and no one thought it was funny. And I said, David, I was laughing at you. And he goes, you're a given, Anna. You're a given. And I'm like, no, but like still.
I think you even laughed at the raccoon thing.
Yeah, I did, yes.
Bad.
No, but it actually was funny. I'm like, okay, this is, yeah. I don't know, literally everything that David says. Yeah, just David and Austin are freaking hilarious. I don't have a specific story, but it's every...
Don't tell everyone that.
Yeah. I know, yeah, you can clip that.
Cut that part. You've been obviously a very key part in building our voice and our identity. Mm-hmm. In your own words, how would you describe the culture that we have here?
Energetic, for sure. We're always up and at 'em, I feel like. We do get those quiet hours between like 10 and noon. And then I think like when lunch hits, we're like, all right, where we're going to lunch. Then we get that afternoon like zoomies, I feel like, is what I like to call it.
I like that.
Where everyone's just like, you know, off the haywire. So that's funny. I would say intentional. You know, through conversations with my like freelance role I have with the NCAA and then the interview process with NBC. First with the NCAA, she had talked about she saw my resume and she was like, I know exactly who you guys are. You were at the College World Series, you know, like no one else does it like you guys do. No one does it. And so she's like, I knew I wanted to hire you right away to be a freelancer for us. So that was really cool to hear. And then when I was in Connecticut for my interview with NBC, I was with the vice president of social media and he was looking at my resume. He's like, oh yeah, Hurrdat Sports. Like, I've seen you guys, I've heard about you guys. And it's weird because sometimes like you don't think that we're on the map, you know, and like we're in Omaha, we're in Nebraska, like Creighton fans and Nebraska fans see us and, you know, high school fans and maybe that's about it. But, you know, someone way high up in NBC Sports kind of knows about us or has seen our stuff and, you know, thanks like to the algorithm probably and viral videos he's probably seen. But yeah, just intentional, energetic, upbeat, caring, loving too. Like everyone just loves one another, I feel like, as a person and so many other things too.
I am a firm believer that this place is seriously something very special. I mentioned it before, I've been doing this it's almost been 2 decades now, which is insane, but I've never loved a place more. I've never loved the people more. Every single day, I'm really intentional with some gratitude stuff and work, and this place is always on there. Mm-hmm. A lot of that's like, I mean, these people in this room, and I'm really sad that we had to start a group text to keep that part of it going. Mm-hmm. When you picture where you'll be a year from now at NBC Sports, what do you hope that you're doing, and what kind of impact would you like to make? Yeah,
I haven't thought about it a lot because there's been so much going on in the past 2 weeks. I'm like, I don't even know what day tomorrow is. But when I go there and I think about like the transition, like they've talked about me being like a fresh mindset. I'm younger and that's because of what I've learned here, what I know here, because I think we're so quick with like the trends and knowing social updates and being aware of things that are going on so we can hop on it and help our content like perform better in general. So I hope I just bring like a new mindset or like an adjustment to social media, whether that's like advice I have or, you know, ways that we've done it, that we've seen work. Like I would enjoy taking some of those things there if they're, you know, looking for new ways or, you know, different opinions. But yeah, what was the other one?
What kind of impact do you want to make?
Oh, yeah. You know, it's hard because I've said the past week, like, I don't think I'll find people out there that love me like you guys do and care for me. And know me like you guys do, and that's what scares me the most is like I don't know, but I hope 1 year from today like I can look back and say like I've met some amazing people there, and they're just as great too, probably not the best, but you know, better than you guys, but I hope that I have relationships up there, because that's what made this so special, and I'm sure it's like that at other places too, but not everywhere. And so I just kind of have to bet my bottom dollar that I hope it's like that up there, you know? So yeah, I just hope I can find friendship and relationships up there like here, and that I have that impact of being vulnerable and, you know, making one of everyone.
You will. I know that already.
Thanks.
This has been Hurrdat Sports Chats. The first one, we're bringing it back. But Anna, thank you so much.
Thank
Not
you.
just for sitting down with me and being the first one, but for literally everything you do.
Thank you, Sausha. You're the best.